It's chapter 7. Mind of an Asiatic, homie. Yo. See, any other time, I wouldn't pay you any mind. Put my best foot forward in every verse and every line. I used to dream, I used to pray about the day that I get signed into the truth. About this business just blew my mind. I swear to God, I used to think all I needed was a skill. Hot verse, catchy hook, dope look, then get a deal. I used to love the rock a sold out show just for the thrill until the real was revealed to my spirit like Jabril. I'm iconic.
They say they want this more science, so I'ma give it to them. Islamism, no illusions when I'm interviewing. Know what I'm doing, no confusion, I ain't into cooning. I'm in the moving units, out here starting revolutions. In love with shooters, making masterminds out the goonies. I got them booming out here, zooming on the plane of soul. I tell them take me to the grove, they like Islam mode. I'm letting them know this not a show, this all systems go. It's two selves, one man, both high and low. I'm so spiritual, the indigos feel the vibe. I'm so lyrical, a miracle that I survive. Extend my 5 to the 4, I can see him coming. Plus my angel got the angle with the engine running. It's all justice, freedom, peace, truth, and love.
I am not a Negro, black, colored, African American. I'm a Moorish American. Peace.
Yeah. Hey, 5 on the right, 2 on the left, man. You know what time it is. Yo. We just Moors in America, soared through the shores and endured criminal acts of war on our character. 7 years after the 4th score, no reward. Shout out to the most courageous, they was jumping over barriers. Where does that compare to you? We come from a place where you scared to visit our area. We come from a place where it's scary for good Samaritans. Heavy luggage we carrying, babies having babies. It's crazy being American. Praise the one and only Allah, there's no comparison. La ilaha illa Allah, body and buried gin. Laughing at you clowns like ha-ha, dodging the Nephilim. Conquer lower self with the high, follow your regimen. Way before they came we were gods and now we specimen. Tried to take the light from our eyes, thank God for Edison. Then they put the wool on our eyes, it's so embarrassing. Now we travel frequently, we should invest in Sheraton. All of us got gold on our bodies whenever we stepping in. Screaming Ramadan, Mubarak, training the flesh again. Wishing we could move as a unit just like the Mexicans. Dodging all the foods with estrogen, synthetic medicines. All sin isn't devilish. Sometimes the decisions that you make come for a better gift. Sometimes when you sin it's to relate to all your brethren. Heavenly gates all in our face, we the champions. We live in the sky, we see the angels on the chariots. Waiting on the $20 bill, face a Harriet. I bet you I'ma carry it. I'm in love with music to the point I wanna marry it. But my love for people is greater, so I write messages. Largest spending power, but we still sit at a deficit. Living amongst prejudice, even at our residence. Moors in America, flourishing, excellent. Let's buy up some neighborhoods and groom our own president. Yeah. And I come to you today with all intentions of spreading love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
All right, Islam, Moors, peace and love, everybody. We are going to get started right now. Of course, this is Moors in America that you are watching. Just want to tell everybody to click like and share. We have the link in the chat right now if you want to hop on the podcast with us. We're opening the floor up to everybody. Islam to Pedro, Honesty, Islam. I want to say Islam to the brother Paris McGee Bay, Islam. All right, so we're going to have an open dialogue. I see you, Money Grove, Islam. So everybody watching, hit like and share. If you want to hop on here, just click the link. You see it in the chat. It's going to be an open dialogue speaking on what's going on. There's a lot going on. There's always a lot going on, but we speaking on it from a Moorish perspective, putting things in the proper light. You know how we do though. This video represents the views of the presenters and our guests. It's based off our own personal research and life experience. Right? We're not coming out here. This is not like content that's officially endorsed or a representation of any official policies of any organizations. Over here, though, we always rise and give honors to the Creator, the universe, the Most High, our Father God, Allah. We also stand honors to our divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali. And you know what? We give honors to the forerunner, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and we give honors to everything Moorish. That's how we do. All right, so good afternoon. You're listening to the True and Living Lightbringer Moors in America. As always, I'm your brother, Lloyd Douglas L., also known by my Islamic name. Well, I shouldn't say Islamic name. Let me say my Arabic name, Sharif Ali. Okay, Islam. And here we're uncovering and bringing glorious light to all issues pertinent to the Moorish American paradigm, because that's what we do. So as I said, it's an open topic of discussion. The floor is open. I see you, Mogul Minds. I see you. It's my brother. If you want to join us on the stream, go ahead and jump on in. The link's in the description. Okay? The link's in the description. I'll put it out there again. And you know what? We're just going to go ahead and get this thing popping. It's going to be like a party. It's a Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening now. It's evening now, right? Let's do it. Let's go ahead and get this started, Morris. All right, you know how we do. All right.
I like it.
Peace, bro. You might need
bro.
to peace. You might need to turn that down a little bit. It's gonna be some feedback.
With me?
Yeah. You might need to turn that down because it's gonna be feedback when you start talking.
Down, so I got you.
Yeah. Man, that's what's up. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. I mean, you know, this for the most part, no topic. It's open. I have a few things I want to speak about, man. How you doing though, brother?
Good, bro. I'm good. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Everything's going good, man. It was just a little bit in the background, you know, but other than that, you good.
You hear me?
Islam, yeah, I can hear you. Bro.
You can hear me, bro? Islam.
It looks like, man, you got a delay.
I'm trying to now.
Yeah, you might need to turn that down because it's gonna be feedback. Okay, yeah,
more.
You got a little bit of a delay. All right. Yeah. So yeah, let me go ahead and get started though, man. Just want to talk about some stuff. I mean, look, I know the Moors. I know y'all seeing the. I'm gonna mute you for a second though, brother, while you get that worked out. Yeah. So here we go. All right. So I know the Moors. Everybody's hearing about the wars, the rumors of war. They got the news broadcasts out here talking about they going into the the Ukraine, Russia. They attacking. It's going on, right? And it's always like this, it's always something going on. But if they're talking about wars, if there's something going on that they want you to be focused on, they want you to look over here, you already should know that they don't want you to look over there, right? They showing you this hand, the left hand. They don't want you to see the right hand. They don't even want you to know about it, right? So they got something going on. I just saw this post on Facebook. I mean, we could really just go through Facebook and just see all the stuff that's going on. The brother, made a good point. He was just saying, look, the Epstein Island thing. For those that don't know, Jeffrey Epstein, this dude actually had an island, right, where he was bringing all types of people, powerful people, wealthy people out to the island. And they were having underage girls out there, right, on the island. And on the flight logs, right, this dude, he had a plane. They were bringing people out there. On the flight logs, they had people like Bill Clinton, right, him and Hillary. They going out there several times. Bill Gates, all types of people, even people like Chris Tucker, all types of the comedian, all types of people out there. And look at this building, right? This is from NBC News talking about bizarre blue stripe building on private island. Raised alarm. I think it has like a fake gold dome on it too, right? But so you had all this stuff going on, yeah, right here, right? On this little private island where they're bringing out all the underage girls and then bringing all these wealthy people out there to do their dirt, okay? And so, yes, for those that don't know, that was just a quick rundown. Not really going to talk about Jeffrey Epstein, but just saying that because, while this stuff's going on, they always got something goofy for us to look at, or they got some celebrity gossip for us to look at, right? And the dude was just saying on here on Facebook that basically, the whole thing with the Tyler Perry, I think there's a new Madea movie out. Right? I don't watch that mess, man. I never really got into that. I can't. But you got the new Madea movie out, right? And he was saying on here, says Epstein Island was alive and kicking for years. Then what do you think Tyler Perry Studio is going to do? Right? They come out with some new Tyler Perry flick. And he was just making the point that, they used this dude, Tyler Perry, which I saw him recently in the news because he made some comment about him dressing up like the woman doing the Madea thing and like basically saying like his thoughts. Let me see if I can pull it up. I don't even really remember what he said. I just knew that like what he said was for the most part some garbage. Maybe they have his little quote in here because he recently said it. Hang on a second. If you know what I'm trying to hint at, what I'm trying to get at, let me know in the chat. But yeah, I guess maybe somebody asked him about the whole cross-dressing thing. Right? Let me see. Let's type Tyler Perry cross-dressing. Right? Somebody said they think he enjoys it. Yeah, they said is he Atlanta's most famous drag queen. So man, he made a comment recently about the whole, Madea thing, him dressing up like a woman. So I apologize, man. It skipped my mind, like whatever he said. It wasn't that important, but it was funny because, this topic comes up. He's doing this. He got a new Madea movie out, right? And what they pushing? What are they pushing? What agenda do we see? We see the alphabet agenda, right? LGBTQ and all this stuff, right? Dude put P and B. Like, what the hell does P stand for? Is that pedophile? right? Bestiality, like it's terrible. It's despicable what's going on. So all this stuff is playing out, and they get things to distract us so that you don't see that they're pushing legislation through on the low, right? They might actually, you good, brother? You got the audio good. Okay. So they pushing this
I'm still
stuff through.
trying to get.
Okay. All right, we'll check back with you. So they trying to, they push this stuff for us to see, to be distracted with. You got the wars, you got the movies, you got the goofy stuff, the Tyler Perry stuff coming out. You got the Kanye West beefing with his wife, his Kim Kardashian. You got the Kanye West on Netflix. This stuff to distract you from what's really going on, right? So they pushing legislation through on the low, and nobody's paying attention to it. Okay, nobody's paying attention to the fact that they are making things that would sound insane legal, right? But if millions of people are distracted and especially worried about the war, it's going to go through, right? It's funny though, this article is just talking about how nowadays you can't even tell the difference between a real man and a real woman. And that reminds me, because there was this some article that just popped up on online, and it was showing this dude, what's that dude, Dr. Phil. It was a dude, it was a brother on there, right? And he was talking about how he got catfished. And he was talking about how, maybe this is it, how he went to meet this woman and he flying her out to Miami, and he never met her. He just saw her online. And so he's flying her out to Miami, and when he goes to meet her, he's talking about how she don't look nothing like what she looked like on Instagram. And he didn't show her face, right, in the video, but the video went viral. He showed himself at the door talking to her and telling her how she don't look nothing like her pictures because it's stuff's all Photoshop. It's all super fake. And when he was doing that, I was thinking, man, it's probably a dude. It's probably not even a woman, right? And I can't even find it, man. Well, I think dude's name was John or something. I just saw it like maybe like an hour ago. It just popped up online, right? So dude was complaining about how they don't look anything like they do, and people, women need to be more honest. It's not really about that, dude, but just talking about how they're using all the Photoshop filters and stuff and don't look nothing like what they're selling themselves to be. And it was crazy, man. I wish I could pull it up, because in the video, the people that this doctor, whoever Dr. Phil is, the people he had on his panel, 2 women, and they looked super fake, like super made up. One of them had these humongous, gigantic fake lips. Like you could tell she had plastic surgery, just looking super fake. And they're up there getting upset at dude just because he's saying the woman lied. She doing all this fake stuff and look nothing like the picture, right? And so all this stuff is going on, and it's people aren't really paying attention to what's going on. I mean, when you see the females, right? These 2, they put out that despicable song, WAP, right? Just terrible song. They put this out. The dude that's on here with what's her name, Cardi B, might not even be a female, right? She, with quotation marks, calls herself Meg the male horse, Meg the stallion. It's almost like she can't just come out and lie, be like, yo, I'm a female 100%. You got to tell you, yo, I'm a man. I'm a stallion, right? So that later on, you can't come back and say, well, she was lying to us. Nah, it told you right out the gate. It's a stallion. Stallions, they're not females at all. If you ever seen a male horse before, you can't get them confused with the female. And so she's telling you straight out, Meg the stallion, right? And she's savage. She got the song Savage. Okay. So they putting this out there in your face, and they got her with Cardi B, and they got all these extra super fake body parts. So you're like, oh yeah, as a female. So that you could be lusting over them, right? So that when she comes out, maybe 3 years down the road, might not even take that long the way things going. You know, when she comes out and just admits, like, yeah, I was born a male. A lot of dudes gonna be having to look at themselves in the mirror, like wondering, like, does that make you homosexual because you was lusting over this dude? And so, you know, I mean, if you look at the video, you know, they're super promiscuous, right? Scantily clad. They both got, you know, plastic surgery, got the fake breasts, fake butt, and all that stuff. And you know, it'd be cool if it was just something that just celebrities do, but they pump this to everyone now, right? So just any random woman on the street might have what? Fake breasts, fake butt. It's common now. Come on, like I'm 41. Man, this wasn't common in the 90s. And even though I was a child most of the 90s, still I know it wasn't common. You know, it wasn't as many women, especially in the hood. It wasn't women walking around with fake breasts, fake butts. It just wasn't like that. Even in the early 2000s, it wasn't common. So what happened? Like, we got to look at, like, what happened. You know, they came out with the Kardashians. And if you look at the Kardashians, man, it looked like they created them in the lab. Hang on. I'm trying to think of their names, man. Okay, there we go. I couldn't even remember the name. So if you look at them, right, they made this female up, I guess, to look like a Bratz doll. But if you look at the before, what they really look like, right? Look at the before. Before, what do you put before? What should I put? Before surgery? Pre-surgery. Okay, the natural. Okay, here, that's perfect. Right? So if you look at the before and the after, right? And I'm not trying to attack these people, man. This ain't attacking, this ain't making fun of anybody. It's just keeping it real. You know, they created like a Bratz doll, you know, gave her lips, gave them body parts. Not even talking about all the fake body parts, just the face. They created these things, right? Like, literally, look at this. Like that. And this is what that dude that I was trying to find, I couldn't find a video. I wish I could have found it for you. Well, you know, I think I saw it on Yahoo. Let me go up here and see. You still good, bro? Is your audio good? You think you good to go?
Brother, I don't know. Can you hear me, brother?
Oh yeah, you
you
good now. Sound like the feedback's gone.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I can't hear myself though. Should I hear myself?
Man, probably only if you got headphones on, maybe, because it sounds like when you turn it up, it's too much feedback.
Okay, so what you want me to do? So put some earphones on, you telling me?
Yeah. If you put earphones on, then you know you'll be good. But if you're playing it out loud, it's probably yeah. All right, cool. So yeah, going back to this, man, I might be able to pull this up on Yahoo. Let me see if that thing was on here. All right, so I saw this thing on here. We ain't even gonna sweat that. Yeah, wait, nah. It was on here somewhere. But anyway, so going back to this, right? Not knocking these people, not trying to make people who look like this feel bad. We're not attacking nobody. We're not bullying people or nothing like that. We're just being real, right? Like, what does it say? Kendall Jenner plastic surgery facts. So this thing probably goes off and explain, like, because you look at, there's no lips at all. Nan, she don't have no lips. Okay, they did everything, created a face. Share that with your sister, baby. All right, so they created a face, and then you look at the same thing here. You know, they created lips, but then if you look at the whole body, they created a body too. All right, and so this is what you're working with. And the other sister too, I think, looks, was like even worse. You know, I'm not gonna go through looking for them. I don't even know their names, and I'm so glad I don't. None of us should know these fools' names. But the thing is, they put this stuff out there for us, right? They're pumping this fakeness, just making everything fake. They want all the women to feel like naturally they're not good enough. Like they have to get a fake butt. You got to get fake boobs and all this stuff. And then, like, I guess, you know, your lips aren't big enough. You got to look like, you know, they want them all to feel like they got to do this. Okay, because they're pushing this LGBTQ thing so hard, you know, with the whole transgender thing, and with the you know, now you can't even use pronouns anymore. You know, you're not a he anymore. It's just they, or whatever they want you to say. Right? There's no more he's and she's. There's no more men and women. Right? They even got it in the news where the people talking about they had the I guess transgender, I don't know what it is up there. It was a dude with a beard, but he's like dressed like a woman. And he's like real thin and stuff like a woman. And so he's sitting there talking about, you know, we need to stop calling women women. They're birthing people or something. Something insinuating because they can give birth. Right? Like you know,
I mean,
it is craziness. It's just insanity. Okay. And all this is for a reason, bro. My bad, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Can you hear me, bro?
Oh yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Okay. So all right. So what I wanted to say to you was this, bro. First of all, we already know what's going on, okay? As far as these people trying to stop us from reproducing. The whole thing is they do not want us to reproduce. As long as you take away the reproduction, then they think they're going to continually grow. They don't understand where they are and where we are. We're going to continuously grow. Continuously grow. So that's it, bro. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. I don't really waste my time with I'm a different thinker, bro, because we already know that there's something wrong with this situation. Whatever this situation is with all this artificialness, females have to understand that we respect what they are. Okay? When the law gave us something, he gave us a special woman, and that's what you are. So there's no need to make alterations. You don't have to change yourself. If you are this goddess that was given to us, then you should not have to make any alterations. So stop with the fakeness. That's another thing. Okay? You with me?
I'm with you, bro.
You with me?
Yeah,
All right.
100%.
So
Yeah.
okay, so that you know that's one of the main things that um our sisters have to understand, that a lot of the times why these brothers are kind of thrown off is because it's all of the artificialness that you bring to the table that is really not needed. All it's doing is causing confusion. First of all, it's making us have to spend money that don't need to be spent. First of all, you got to spend money. Once you understand that this is your business partner in a relationship, if you guys are trying to create a situation, you have to understand that we're business partners. Okay, so what do? You cut off all the bull crap, first of all. We don't need the fake nails. We don't need the fake lashes. We don't need the fake booty. This is how I feel, y'all. Y'all can be. I mean, listen. This how I am. The Allah gave us something special in a woman, And that is what you is. We love y'all. You guys don't have to make no changes. All right. So stop with the changes because you're first of all, you're messing with a certain frequency and a vibration that is gonna cause static. Now, when you cause static, what do you have? A lot of confusion, problems, something that we really don't need. So be natural, be who you are, and that's all we really need. Now, this guy Perry, dude, we already know about him. First of all, to have the kind of pull that you have, what we think he has this pull. We don't really don't know. We think he has this pull. All right, he has this pull. So why is it that you're not putting out information that we need to hear, information that we need to see, information that we need to know? Some of this information that you are giving us, we don't need to know this information. I apologize. I might seem a little, but I feel a certain kind of way with these guys because I feel like these guys got platforms. So what are you going to do? So what are you going to do? Are you going to dig deep and tell the real stories? Because we got a story, Doug. We got a real story, and you need to know. If you don't know the story, you need to learn the story. And let's give this story and stop playing with all these dresses and shit. I apologize if I'm going there. Excuse my language.
Facts. Now you right on point. You
Excuse
right
my
on
language.
point.
Excuse my language. Thank you, bro. Thank you, brother. So, you know, I'm somewhat of an OG, and I am upset about the system. Well, I'm not surprised because I've been living in the system, right? I've been doing this, okay? I've been doing this. I've been seeing what's going on. And we all know, like right now, it's evident. We all know what's going on right now. We were uh, 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 the YouTube videos and all the conspiracy theories and all, we all know what's going on now. So what are we going to do? All right.
I think you're
Now,
speaking to
now,
a
now.
larger point.
Excuse me, bro. What you say, bro? You think I'm speaking to? I'm listening. Go ahead, bro. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think to a certain degree, I don't think you're tiptoeing, but I think you're like circling around a central point. And I think
Yeah.
one thing I've been noticing in media a ton is the feminization of black men and masculinity as a whole, but specifically it seems hyper focused on black men being effeminized. Like I'm watching TV shows or just
Yeah.
looking at commercials.
I agree.
Like
I agree with
out
you,
of 10
bro.
black men I see, why are
Go ahead,
7 of
build,
them
brother.
gay? Why
Build,
why are
brother.
7
Build.
why are 7
Build,
of the 10 black men in commercials that I see gay when just
bro.
statistically, I don't have any issue with gay people, but
Okay.
statistically,
Me neither. Me neither.
70% of
No,
us are
no.
not gay.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
or I'm watching Grownish, where show these kids in college, and
Uh,
it's this girl running track, and she's
okay.
dating a guy, and
Okay.
the dude, track athlete, good athlete, whatever, for whatever reason, he cross dresses. He's supposedly straight, but he likes to
Bro.
wear dresses and things
Bro.
like that. And it's changing the idea of masculinity in the generation's head.
Bro. Bro. Bro, I respect you, bro. I respect everything you saying, bro. And you're making a lot of sense, bro. What I'm trying to tell you is this, bro. They don't want us to keep growing.
That's a fact. They want to decrease our
We,
population.
they,
They've
they,
made it
they,
a point and said these.
they made it a point that you guys have got to stop growing. We know that you guys are the super everything. We are the super everything. I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. Once we find out, brother, once we really know, see, this is what happened. The Most High, Allah, I've been like, man, let me tell you, me and my spiritual background is so heavy that I don't even really want to go there right now. Okay. So, what I will say is this: we know what's going on. Once the information is being put out there, we grab these youngsters, and we start shaking them by their shoulders and start saying, listen, this is what's going on. Y'all better pay attention. This is what's going on. Y'all need to pay attention. That's one of the things we gotta do. We gotta talk to the youngsters and let them know that this is not. Do not think that this is the happening thing. This is not the happening thing. Continue, brother. I'm sorry.
No,
Finish, cause like I start like it's
the what you're saying. I
yeah.
don't think
Go
what we're
ahead, brother.
saying. I don't even think we're
Yeah,
making
yeah.
different points. We're just
We're
talking
not.
about different
We
aspects of the
just
same issue.
yeah, same issue, bro. You know, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So yeah, Sharif, you all right?
Oh
Right.
yeah. I'm
Okay.
man. You know what? I'm in
All right.
agreement with what both of you are
All
saying.
right.
You
Okay.
probably already know that.
Yeah.
What the brother just said about that show. You know, having a character who's an Asiatic male who's cross dressing. But like the brother said, I've never seen it before. But like you said on the show, he's not even homosexual, but he cross dresses. You know, these are just little tidbits that get put into the programming for a show like this that's going to reach millions of people. And
Right.
when we're watching the show, okay, our mind's at ease because we're being entertained, and that's the perfect time to program. So when we're watching movies, when we're watching
Excuse me.
TV shows,
Excuse me.
Islam.
Excuse me, Sharif. Can I say something, Sharif?
Oh,
Excuse me,
sure,
Islam,
sure.
Sharif. Can I say something? This is to
Yes.
the youngins that don't know. This is called social engineering.
Right.
Listen to what this brother Sharif is saying. This is called social engineering
Which can be
to
used as a form of
program.
psychological operations.
Let's go. Come on, Sharif, finish. I'm sorry.
That's right. So that's the perfect time to program is when your mind is at ease. So when our mind's at ease, when we're being entertained, something's funny, or you watching a scary movie, doesn't matter what it is, when you just into the story, you put the subliminal programming in there. The subliminal, it goes directly to the subconscious mind and it programs
Yeah.
you. So they put those little things in there. Now, when you were saying about the show having a character who's cross dressing, you know, these are just the little things they're doing to ease us away from who we truly are.
It's
And
in
that's,
everything,
yeah,
right?
it is. It is. And even in the shows that we, you know, the shows, for example, there were two powerful shows that were on in the last year or two. One was called Them, and the other one was called Lovecraft Country, right? And so in both of these shows, they have this sci-fi element, you know, and they have
Mm,
some powerful elements in there
I know.
showing our
I know.
people coming up, you know, rising up. But then they always have the BS in there. It's gonna be in there. You can pretty much guess it's gonna be in there. So in Lovecraft, the dude who
Yeah.
like one of the main characters, his dad is, you know, homosexual and he beats him, you know, because
It's Omar from The Wire.
yeah,
Rest
yeah.
in peace to the man. I can't remember the actor's name. Michael.
And wasn't he like he was like that in the wire
That's
too?
who
I
it
never
is. That's exactly.
Yeah. Yes,
yeah.
sir. He was like that in The Wire as
Reef, I
well.
can't change my avatar. Why can't I change my avatar, brothers? Why am I having a hard time
Um
changing avatar? Do you guys
I
have
haven't
an
been on
idea why?
StreamYard. I haven't been on
I
StreamYard in quite a while.
don't
It
know
might
why,
be
right?
because you're live.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
you
could
might.
be just because we're live.
It might be. Oh,
Yeah,
can
you
you
might
stop
have to
the
go out and come
camera
back in and
sometimes,
change it.
maybe?
Okay, you good.
Mhm.
Yeah, it just changed.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Can you hear me? Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
yeah,
Yes,
we can hear
sir.
Can
you
you hear me?
loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you
so
hear me?
they
All right. So okay,
yeah.
I figured it out. I figured it out. I figured it out. So go ahead, finish rapping. Finish building.
So
Finish building.
this is what they do.
I'm
It's
sorry. Excuse me,
like the brother
brothers.
was
Finish
saying.
building. I'm
It's in
sorry.
every
Excuse me.
show. It's in every show. It's in every movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
Mm-hmm.
it's disappointing if you know
To your
better.
to your point, Sharif. I don't want to cut you. I don't think that a major level show can be made with them big Hollywood budgets. I don't think the show is getting made unless they're pushing the agenda. Because
Oh yeah,
it's in everything across the board.
But
yeah, definitely. And I think we
so what does
kind
that
of
mean?
kind
Is
of
it
sort of got
is it a
a
camera
peek
thing?
into what's
Is it a
going on
camera
behind the
thing?
scenes. Yeah, we kind of got a peek behind the
Is it a
scenes when
camera thing?
Dave Chappelle spoke on that.
Mm,
How do you mean?
yeah.
Is it a
It,
camera thing?
what I'm saying is like, why can't we just put out our own material? Why does it have to be okayed
So I think
through
I think that
someone?
that's
Why?
I
Why?
think that the issue
Why?
there is infrastructure and the fact that original peoples don't control any infrastructure of these media industries, right? So you got a Tyler Perry Studios,
Ah.
you got a Tyler Perry
Mm,
Studios, but you already know what work he's doing and what he built his legacy on, right? So
mm,
you know what you're gonna
mm,
get out of that. I think that the issue is these billionaire. We got there's a handful of black billionaires, but then there's also quite a few multi-millionaires, that are of Asiatic descent. Why haven't they come together and put together literally just a bank? And then we could go get the loans and then set up a actual media company. I don't know why they haven't done that, but I mean, at its core, all these
This
people are
is
serving the
where
same agenda.
bro. What's your name, bro? What's your name again? I'm sorry, bro. No disrespect.
My, my,
What can I call you,
my
brother?
name, my name's Isaiah, but you could just call me Mogul Minds.
Mogul Minds, Mogul
Yes,
Minds,
sir.
Eminem, Mogul Minds. Got you. All right, okay,
Yes,
I
sir.
got you now,
Mogul Minds.
bro. Yeah, yes. There you go. Now you're talking my kind of talk. I'm trying to figure out why haven't we done this yet, Sharif?
Yeah, so we have the capability of doing it,
Uh,
but when it
okay.
comes down to it, like we've been programmed to see ourselves as descendants of slaves.
Hmm.
Okay, that's what
Mm-hmm.
we've been programmed to see ourselves as. And when you get in a position where you're around these other entertainers or people who are in the industry, the Puffies and all these guys, I guess Puffy has a station now, right? So when you're around them, you find out that they still have that slave mentality, right? That they're
Hmm.
descendants of slaves and that they have to go to the plug to get on. And so, I mean, just like in the streets, everybody's seeing them as the plug. You need to get with somebody of
Yeah,
European descent to
yeah.
get
Right.
on,
Damn,
and so
damn.
people, I mean, are still under this, even though it's 2022. Like you can do whatever you want, and with the
Mm-hmm.
internet, you don't even have to have a lot of money.
And this
Even
is what
if
we
you just
gotta
have a
do.
little bit of
Yep,
bread, you can make
yep.
your own production and put it straight out to the people. So there's really no reason why not. It's that there's gatekeepers and
Right.
they're in the
These gate,
positions that they're
these
in
gatekeepers.
because they
Yes.
going along with the program. They're not going to change anything. Nobody's going to do it unless we do it.
Right.
Yeah.
There is no. I did a build a while back with you, Sharif, and Asir the Ducateers, and one of the things that we were
My brother.
circling around was there is nobody else. We're waiting and
There,
looking for
yeah,
other
yeah,
people
yeah.
to do
There
stuff.
you
There is
go.
nobody.
There you go. There you go, Mogul. There you right. You right, bro. You right. You are right. There is nobody. We got to do it. And I feel like, man, we got enough right now with my talents, Mogul's talents, Sharif's talents, the Duke talents. I don't know. I saw you in the picture, Reef, with Dolo. What's the story with Dolo? What's the story with Dolo?
I haven't
Is he
talked to him in a
y'all
minute, you
going?
know. Hopefully that brother's doing good. You know, but I haven't talked to him in a minute. Just
But all I'm saying is, man, we can sit there and figure something out and like put something together strong, and not just that, man. It's a lot of land that's involved. It's a lot of property that's involved. The land is one of the most important things that we have to really focus on. I don't care about nobody's Gucci. I don't care about nobody's 600 E class, at 12 class, 90th class, whatever. I care about generational wealth and land and
I think the
and
focus of what you're saying is proper.
okay,
A
okay.
huge part of the issue with
I'm
with
listening.
the masses of our culture is people tend to like, because of social engineering, right? That said, to bring it back to that point, because of social engineering, people tend to follow the sheep, follow the herd, do what's popular, and
Yeah,
thinking
yeah,
about intergenerational wealth, thinking about not the first name but your last name and building legacy. It's not sexy, it's not cool, it's not popping, because that's not what the rappers are talking about. If we got 10 rappers that are popping right now to make songs about these things, you would see an entire cultural shift. If they were actually popular songs that were on the radio, you would see a cultural shift in the young people. If people just started, women right now on all these shows, like Kevin Samuels is really popular right now. You hear all these women say that they're too good for, they couldn't accept a man who's making $50,000 a year. That's not enough. Like, what in your head? That's, what do you imagine the world is like?
right.
That's what the average man is getting, like 40 to 50 grand in America. That's what the average man is making. And
Yeah.
because of
Hmm.
Instagram, because of hip hop music, social engineering, today's culture, I would call it rap. I wouldn't even call it hip hop. But pop music and pop culture
Man,
has
it hurts
really
my feelings.
destroyed the
The
mindset.
music today, the music today hurts me. The music today hurts me.
I
Can
mean,
I say that?
realistically, it's hurting a lot more than you.
The music today hurts me because, man, I could really go in. Like I could really
let's
go in.
let
Like
but to be fair to
it's
the
like,
artists,
man,
let's say pop music, let's say
yeah,
popular
yeah,
music, because there's a lot of artists out here doing real stuff, and they just don't get the light or the
okay,
attention or the
okay,
radio play.
okay, okay, right, okay, okay. Now, if you want to change it to that, man, I don't really have too much bad to say.
Right, so we were
Uh,
talking like
I
pop
just
music
asked
is an issue.
for the guy for the guy. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Sh-
definitely,
Sher- Sharif, I see you pulling
definitely.
up some pictures of, it looked
Yeah, I
like
see. Yeah,
uh
I'm checking them out. Yeah, I'm letting you control the mic,
yeah.
bro. I
So
ain't doing listen.
if
I'm sitting
if
there saying,
I
should
can
I
say
go in my
one
bag?
thing,
I'm like, no, I ain't going to my bag. I'm gonna let Reef go in. Go in, Reef.
just
Just go ahead.
just
You
listening
know
to
what
what
I'm
you
saying?
two are
All right.
saying.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
I just
Okay.
just pulled up, just Google real quick. You know, our people
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
1920s, and it's like
Hmm.
if you look at how we were just walking down the street, you see all these brothers and sisters, even the babies dress nice, right? Respectable, noble, right? The men
Man,
have on
look,
suits, suit and tie, right? A
look.
lot of us don't. Some of
Yeah.
us are grown men and don't even really know how to tie a tie, right? Don't really
that's
know how to wear
facts.
a suit. And it's not knocking anybody, man. If anybody, if you don't feel like this an attack,
Don't
because
you right.
I could be talking about myself. So I mean, you look at how the sisters are dressed. Everybody's dressed respectable and powerful. The powerful image, because the children are seeing
Go in
this.
and out, bro. You going in and out.
No, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing them clear. That could
Okay.
be your connection. Not sure.
My
All right.
connect. Okay, my connect. Okay, all right.
So
I know my connect. I know my connect. Listen.
All we gotta do
let me
is
tell
for the
y'all real
live
quick.
streamers, if y'all can hear Sharif clear, just let us know in the chat, please. For the people watching the live stream, if y'all can hear Sharif clear, please let us know.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to
Please
keep
let
going
us know.
if
Please
it's
let us know.
breaking up.
Go ahead.
If
All
you
right,
can hear it
go ahead,
clear,
brother.
just type a
Go
1
ahead.
in the chat real quick. If it's coming through clear, somebody type
Okay.
a 1. If it's not clear, just type a 2.
Gotcha.
Okay, we good to go.
All right.
So, you see how the sisters are dressed, right? They're respectable.
Go ahead, Reef.
They have dignity, right? It's
Yeah.
not that WAP stuff. It's not this,
Mhm.
right? That wouldn't have flown in 1920. There's no way this would have
No,
flown.
it's not.
Nobody was going for
No.
it. People of European descent, the Irish, the Italians, the Chinese, all these people in America, nobody was going for that.
This
So
was almost pornography 100 years ago.
Oh yeah, but here's the thing though. You can't, and I'm not knocking anyone, but you can't get somebody Irish to come up and dress like what I just had up, like Cardi B and them, and then that influences the whole world to do it. They had to get us. And I'm gonna share this real quick. This is from the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Just briefly, let me pull that up real quick. I'm gonna tell you why they had to get us to do it. Okay, all right, because we leading, even if we don't realize it. That's how they get you. Like we don't even know the power that we have. Okay, so let's go. We just talked about this holy day, right? Islam, brother. Did you have something to say?
To your point, I have noticed so-called Black American culture shapes world pop culture.
Oh yeah, yes. And so you saw how we were dressing in the 1920s. Now to get things devolved to the point that they're at now, and we have to understand what's really going on. So what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali did, he returned divine wisdom to us, right? He gave us divine wisdom. He also returned our hidden history to us.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to go and ask anybody else who we are. But this is why they have to get us to do this. Okay. We just spoke about this yesterday for Holy Day. All right. I'm going to read the first 2 lines of the divine origins of the Asiatic nations. That's in chapter 45, Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, verse 1. The fallen sons, the fallen. We're the fallen. He's talking about us. The fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation of North America need to learn to love instead of hate and to know their higher self and lower self. This is the uniting of the Holy Quran of Mecca for teaching and instructing all Moorish Americans, etc. Now, verse 2, this is what it is at. The key of civilization was, meaning in the past, and is, meaning in the present, in the hands of the Asiatic nations. It's not in the hands of England. It's not in the hands of the Queen of England. The key of civilization was in the past, and it is in the hands of the Asiatic nations right now. So it don't matter if you in the hood. It don't matter if you serve time, if you just been grimy and dirty. We are the greatest that Allah has made. Not knocking anyone else, just being real. The key was and is in our hands. The Moorish, who were the ancient Moabites and the founders of the holy city of Mecca. So the key to civilization was in the past and it's still in our hands. And that's why we lead. And that's why if you want to devolve things, if your purpose for whatever twisted, demented purpose you have to take things down, if you want to do this, you have to get us to do it. So you have to get us to give up this, right? To the sisters, they're covered. They're looking great. They're immaculate. Right, no matter where they're at, they could be at a game. This could be a football game or something. They still dressed nice, right? All of them. They even have their hair covered, right? And family portrait probably. They dress nice no matter what. The men, the women, even the children. Look at the children, right? So this is what we do. You have to get us to go along with this, right? And so we devolve to this, and now everybody's falling. They had to get us to go for
it. Without us being able to have mass level media, right? How do you shift an entire culture of people to 180, to turn completely around from this, right? We've gone astray. We could clearly see that. So being solution oriented, right? The only thing we could do, we really have to essentially popularize knowledge and truth, which is going to be one of the most difficult things to do in this tech era. This tech era, while everything is being censored. Oh, what's popular is the degradation of our people. How do we popularize the opposite? Would be my question. And I don't have the answers. I don't, expect either one of you brothers to just. I just want to kind of open up the conversation.
Yeah. To speak to that, like, I feel like I don't have the answer.
I got an answer. All right. Now, my answer is this. Right now, at this point in time that we're in history, they're saying that this is the end of days. Okay? I feel like the people are waiting for the truth to be told. And right now, we're looking for that foundation to come off of so we can spring into the people that we are. So I just feel like what's happening right now is a shift. What was supposed to happen, they calling it a reset. So I'm saying we need to figure out a way to present it to the people in a astronomical format, and you already know after that.
So, Sharif, I see you looking up terminologies. What I would like to know you brothers' thoughts on this new paradigm that they're trying to push, this ideology where how they change the name of black people every 30, 40 years or so, Negro, color, Moor, African American, Indian, all these. Now they're pushing American descendants of slaves. I personally know how I feel about it, but I would like to hear you brothers' opinions on that verbiage that they're using.
Oh man, Sharif.
Well, yeah, definitely. I'm not in alignment with that. I think we always should be skeptical of any terminology that's being pushed on us. Just with looking up this term that was being popularized during the Harlem Renaissance, the New Negro, may have sounded good, right? But then it, as it says here, it was made popular by this man, Alan Leroy Locke. We have to look him up. We have to look and see if he was a part of the Boule. If what was his line of thinking? Why is he pushing this? Right now, if we're looking at the American descendants of slaves, the ADOS, I'm against that just by nature, right? We're not descendants of slaves. We're Moors. What was just read, it said that the key to civilization was and is in our hands. We descend from the creators of civilization. If we look into the Quran as revealed to the Prophet Muhammad in Surah 2, Ayat 30, Allah lets it be known that we are his vice regents on earth. We are to be lords over the earth. When you look up the Arabic terminology, though, where it's translated as vice regent, but what it was actually saying in Arabic, Allah said that we're his caliphates on earth, and caliphate is successor.
Yes,
we're the successors of Allah on earth. That's how come you hear people saying arm, leg, arm, head for Allah, right? Yeah. Even though we don't teach that in the Moorish Science Temple of America, that's where that's coming from.
We know, we definitely know, right.
That's where we descend from. So no, we're not descendants of slaves. So who's popularizing this? The people who are pushing it, they may just be puppets. They may just, be honest people that they think this is what we are. But who's behind it? Right? Who's behind it? It's probably not one of us. and they're getting people that look like us to push it. And this, those people can't speak for us. And since we can't make everybody go along with the agenda, we have to be who we are and declare who we are, which the prophet already did. But we need to come into that fold. We need to come into our nationhood and move as a unit and say, look, we speak for ourselves. Jesse Jackson or whoever it is nowadays, they don't speak for us. It's going to have to be a separation, and not to the point of we want to, hey, y'all do whatever you want with them. Right? Nah, not like that. Just saying, he don't speak for me. No. It's just like if your friend, is out here doing dirt and you working and you good, you're not, committing crimes, and he just robbed somebody. He can't be like, yo, we were hanging out. Like, no, bro, don't put me in that. You speak for be a man. Speak for yourself. Yeah. If you got to go down for your crime, go down for your crime. Don't be throwing my name up in there. It's got to be like that, right? Because it's like, look, this ain't working out. How long we gonna play the guessing game? What they gonna name us next? We can't keep going along with that. And there's an agenda behind it. So we're the descendants of slaves. How are we the descendants of slaves when I have all these books? The white slave. Math,
right? We know that.
These
That's
but,
we know.
The Moors,
this we know. Yeah.
So how are we the descendants of slaves? How come Europeans aren't calling themselves descendants of slaves? Right? Why don't they were enslaved too?
To your point, none of it makes sense when you start to question it like that. Like, not even African American. Why aren't they European American?
Yeah. Why is it just us? Right? So, on one hand, because we're still kind of at square one, we have to declare who we are, right? We have to establish our line of descent, right? This is who we are. We're this dude right here who's on the cover, who's selling these people. That's who we descend from, okay? And, it is what it is. It's not all good. That's why we're suffering right now, because stuff like this was done in the past. And things even worse than this were done, right? We're not victims. We're not innocent. Everything happens for a reason. Okay. And so that's part of the thing too, that like those of us who are on this wavelength got to get out of that victim mentality. They did this to us and they gonna keep doing it. Nah. We powerful, we are in control of our reality. And it's as simple, in some ways, as us just realizing this and self-determining, right, who we are, right? Nobody else can tell us who we are. Nobody else can tell us where we came from, what we can and can't do. Like Joe Biden did when he was running for president. He said, if you don't vote for him, you're not black, right? He can't speak for us because we're not black. We're Moors, right? So it's not going to work. Like, we can't do that ADOS thing, right? If you ADOS, whether you like it or not, they still speak for you. They created you. They decide whether or not you get human rights, because technically they still on the fence whether or not you are connected to God like everyone else. Because they created that. There's, it doesn't go back that far, just a few hundreds of years. So, we're not going to get everybody on board. But if we move as a unit with what we have, if there's 1 million of us, if there's 2-3 million of us, even if there was only 400,000 of us, if we moved as a unit with that 400,000, man, we could get so much done. And not only that, others from our fold would start to come on board because they know this stuff ain't working. They know it.
I agree with you.
And like it's sad when you can see the things, ahead of time. It's a trap. It's not going to work, right? But at the same time, man, you can't get anybody else to go along with it, because at the end of the day, like, we've all been brainwashed, man. They, in school, right? I'm just thinking about school, right? We send our children to school. They learn about George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, and about like my daughter had something about Greece and Rome. They have to learn about all that stuff. We had to learn about all that stuff. And that's how come for most of us at a certain age, you start not really caring about school, because you don't want to learn about all that mess.
you know. But this is what they do
Yeah.
to us. And so, like, you know, all
Yeah.
that's by
Yeah.
design, because
Yeah.
when you start learning, when they talk about you, they always start you off as slavery. And so it makes sense for our
Yeah.
people to go along with that ADOS thing, because that's where they started us off at. So we can't wake everybody else up. But for those of us who are aware, we have to move now. We can't talk about it. We have to move as a unit.
Well,
And we have to
yes.
do the
Yes.
group
I
economics
agree.
and build our nation. You know,
I
the
agree.
prophet Noble
I
Drew Ali
agree.
gave us
I
the
agree.
blueprint. He did it, and he showed us that it could be done in a short amount of time. In just 3 years, he was able to, you know, have a nationwide network set up where every temple is, that's your community. And so everywhere there's a temple, it's in the literature. They had grocery stores, right? They had businesses, and so they collected money locally to do what they need to do. But then they also formed a national treasury. That makes you a nation. And so they kicking in a little bit of money so they can get things done for themselves at the nationwide level. Somebody has shared in the chat, say, why, you know, can we you know, pursue redress, you know, legally, right? Can we file a lawsuit? And it's like, well, look, if we got our own money, we can do whatever we want. We can get the best lawyers. They might not even be
Yeah.
Asiatic, right? And they'll
Pretty
do it
much.
because of the money, because
Yeah.
they return. Man,
Yeah.
there was a case I was supposed to be on for jury duty. I got dismissed, so I can talk about it now. The lawyer who was on that case, he's big time. It was a big time
Okay.
case. It was a murder trial, man. The lawyer had $1 million retainer fee. Hold up. His retainer fee is like
Yeah.
$500,000 a month.
Yeah.
You can get people like that
Right.
to file your class action lawsuit and have a whole team on it. It's going to get done. But if we don't have our own treasury and we're not putting up our own bread and able to get it done, then it's not going to happen. Right? So we have to actually move as a nation.
Now,
right? Because we can't like expect
all right,
anybody else
so
to do it for us.
yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah. And
So
they
that's what I'm
have
saying. Like,
so what's go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
so I was just talking about, you know, how the prophet did that in just 3 years, where they had a national treasury and then they were building up money locally, you know, with their businesses in the temple. And you know, they're self-defined. Like, this is who we are. We're Moors, right? We speak for ourselves. And they got their own bread. And they also, look, we move in one direction. Like the prophet had them doing a block vote way back then. So he's like, look, he had it to the point where he had governors, right? Secretary of State, people like that, you know, where he can get them on the phone, where they come into his birthday, right? And it's not because we buddy, I like you. It's because you can help me get in office. You know?
Right.
Power, money. This is what people want. And so, like, he played the game at that level. We could do it too, and could do it in a small amount of time. It don't really take long, but you know, we just have to move as a unit. And that's why none of this stuff's being promoted. That's how come ain't no rappers talking about that, right? Ain't nobody talking about that, because you know it's all foolishness.
That's why Allah put us together. Understand? Because that's what I'm gonna be talking to you guys about. This is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about us doing the things that we have to do to promote ourselves. Period. So, I mean, I'm quite sure they have all kind of maybe grants, maybe small SBLs, small business loans that we can get to get the things that we need to push what we want to push. Period.
I agree with that post that you just put up. I agree with what you said, brother. And the group economics, Sharif, that post that you had just pulled up, it said, "I sense traditionalism coming back." There's always counterculture, right? And right now, pop culture is degenerate. So I would tend to agree with that. That I think that is going to come back. There's going to be a lot of pushback. They're even saying with this new generation, the under millennials, I think Generation Z, the these kids are going more into trades than worrying about college, and I think that that's going to be helpful in these things happening, because once we have a ton of different people with all these different trades, group economics becomes a lot easier. If you're a plumber, you're a carpenter, you do wood, like you do specialized things. uh,
Mhm.
those might not be popular or sexy right now, but that's also how you build a community when you don't have to go to the same
Mm,
handful of large corporations for everything.
Oh
mm,
yeah, that's how the
yeah,
people like in this picture would
yeah,
have been. Like this picture
yeah.
showing the Harlem Renaissance. All of these people, you know, whether they
Mhm.
were from New York or they came up there from the South and other places, they would have had
Yeah,
skills, you know,
yeah,
and that's how
pretty
come they
much.
were
Yeah.
able to build up their community, you know, in a short amount of time.
So, so check this out. So I was out maybe a couple of days ago, and I noticed something that I didn't really like. So um, I pulled my phone out and I did a video about um, I don't want to be. I'm not racial. I'm not racist or nothing like that. I saw a video where they were South American looking, right? They were working, but every time I turn around, you never see us at these jobs. Okay, for some reason, I'm noticing that it's cooler to stand around and be slick and look cute. That's more important than actually learning how to be a iron worker or someone that can be a lineman or someone that can be a natural gas mechanic. Right now, it's privy to stand around and look slick and have Gucci on. And I don't understand that. It really upsets me to see that these South Americans have come up here pretty much. I'm not trying to be racist. I'm not racist. But I do see that they are the ones that are tackling these jobs that we're talking about right now.
Well, that's
I'm noticing that.
to your point. I don't think that so. Where that comes into play is in that when they privatized the prisons here, this is something I talked about with one of the brothers on a podcast that we did way back when. When they privatized the prisons, they needed to fill those prisons. So that was the exact same time within the inner cities that they took all of the trades out of the schools, because if you could learn to be a plumber or an electrician or a carpenter in high school, turn 18, graduate high school, and get a job, even as, at an apprentice level,
Yeah.
why you're not going to go take penitentiary chances. But if there's nothing for you to do and you don't want to go to school, you're much more likely to take those chances. So
Mhm.
after 2 3 generations of that, nobody's dad is half the people's dad not even around to teach them, and
Pretty much.
then
Yeah.
the
Pretty
dads who
much.
are around don't even know how to do a lot of that stuff. So that's why it's not so much that they're coming up here doing it, it's that it's still commonplace for them to learn it, and then when they get here it's like I know how to do that.
I
I could just
Yeah,
go into
but
business for myself.
my thing is I want to see them. I want to see us doing it more.
I
This is
agree.
my problem.
Yeah.
My problem is I need to see us doing this, and I'm
I
not seeing that. Yeah, that's what I'm not
I hear
seeing.
where both of you are coming from. Like,
Yeah,
you know, it's systematic. You know, so it may not necessarily be those people like this person who came here who's the fault, but it's systematic. So on one hand, like the brother said, they're taking it. You know, they're not doing it now. They already took the trades out of the schools, especially in the inner city,
Right.
right? So there's no hope. And then also at the governmental level, right? United States government is like, okay, this many people can come in, right? So even though we claim to be at war with Iran or whoever, yeah, we let like 20,000 of y'all come through this year. They letting this many people come through. It's done at that level. So like for the regular person who's trying to come to the United States of America, it's not easy to get citizenship. They have to try to get in this lottery unless they have some other circumstances that can put them at the forefront of coming, being able to come over here. Like it's not that easy. So it's done at that level where they're like, okay, well, this many people can come through from Brazil, where I lived in Brazil for 5 years. They didn't even make it easy for Brazilians to come over here just for tourism. They had to go to the consulate, regardless of where they live. The consulate might be like 4 or 5 states away. They got to fly there and get interviewed. And if you dark skinned, which most Brazilians are, if you dark skinned and look like us and you coming over there to get interviewed, they like, okay, how much money do you make? Asking them questions just for tourism. Like, do you have people over there that you're gonna be trying to stay with? They asking them questions like that. And like, if you from here and you want to go over there to go for carnival or to go for vacation, they ain't asking you none of that. You just get a little tourist visa, you're good. But they got to go get interviewed. So that's what, like, at the government level, they got it set up like that. They got to go to the American consulate and get the 3rd degree because they don't over here 80% look
Boy,
like.
Tyler Perry.
You hear me?
Tyler Perry.
Yeah, yeah.
I was looking at
80%
Tyler
of them
Perry.
look like what you
I
don't
was watching the
typically think
screen.
of.
I'm watching the screen.
No,
Like,
so
you say South American, you're not typically thinking of people that look like they from Nigeria, but like, the majority of them look like that. And so that's why they got restrictions on
Yeah.
how many of them can come over here, right?
I
And so like,
I
they
know
got it
what you're
worked
saying
out at that
firsthand,
level.
Sharif. And I don't want to. I think there's just a little bit of a delay, so I don't want us nobody to talk over each other. I apologize, but I know what you're saying firsthand.
Right.
My wife is from Panama. I went to Panama maybe 2 years ago now, 3 years ago, and there's entire parts of the city where everybody is dark skinned. Like everybody is, some of the more light skinned people are my color. But when they show us Central and South America, or my family's from Belize, the majority of Belize is black people or so-called black people.
Yeah.
Uh, but when they show us Central and South America, anytime they show it to us on TV, it's a whole bunch of people that look more Spanish or
Yeah.
Mexican-ish looking.
Right.
They
Right.
don't show
Right.
us that the bulk of the people down
Yeah.
there are really dark, because I think that would open the minds of
Yeah.
a lot more
It
black
would. It would.
Americans
Yeah.
to
It
know
would.
that there's so many more what we would consider black
Yeah.
people in the
Yeah.
world than we actually think there is.
And
True.
look, not even
True.
just what they show
True.
us, but also what they show them in their own country. Because like if like for me, we lived in Brazil for 5 years, but we were American, me and my wife. So we looking at them and like on TV, everybody looked like Jennifer Lopez or something. But when we walking around, it looked like we in Detroit. It looked like we in Atlanta. It looked like we in Memphis,
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee,
Right.
Alabama.
Right.
Like regular.
Right. Right.
We
Right.
not black, but regular black folks, right? Not all
Right.
that stuff that comes. So but when you look at TV, everybody either looks straight up like they from Scandinavia, or they, Jennifer Lopez looking. And so that's what their own governments is pumping and promoting. And then,
That's
that's also what they
psychological
let us
warfare.
see over here.
That's what that is. Psychological warfare.
And then that's also who it's going to be easier for them to come over here too, because monetarily, and then also probably when they go sit down to talk to whoever at the U.S. consulate they got to talk to come over here, they like, okay, you good, but if you like real dark, they gonna be asking you 1,000 questions, like are you sure you can handle this? Like what's your education level? You committed these crimes, they doing all of that, right? They don't want them coming over here, and
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
wild. And
Man,
I
I just as far as the work market is concerned, man, I've done it all. Like my dad owned a rebar company. If you know what rebar is, it's reinforced concrete. It pretty much goes in the foundation when anything is getting built. You know what rebar is? It's a steel that holds the building or the bridge up. In between a bridge deck, in between a bridge, in the middle of that bridge, there's steel that runs through that bridge. Two mats, a horizontal and a vertical. Now, inside of that, you have rebar and sometimes structural steel. So I understand the whole business thing. I've done a lot. I'm also a lineman. Um, I know how to do. I know how to work on high voltage electricity, and I also fix gas leaks. A break. I can put a whole new gas line in, like new. I can put the whole, and I could repair the break, and also operating all the equipment. So they're digging machines, there's skid steers, it's a lot of things that goes into this. So the point that I'm making is this, bro. It's not that. I wasn't trying to go on the me thing. All I was going was I want to see the brothers out here working. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Now
once
you
we and
you
once we work and once we work, then we build, because we can't work if we stand around being slick with Gucci on. We don't
yeah.
care about that. Let's get you guys to work.
Yeah,
So
because
how do
what
you?
you're saying, those are real skills. And it's like it's too many this like, they list what they can do is I'm a rapper, I can make beats, I can,
Yeah,
like
come
I'm
on,
a
man.
comedian,
Yeah,
I'm a model. Like,
yes,
come on.
bro. Let's figure something. How about we do some building? How about we own some land? And how about we start building stuff?
All right. And so we can see now
So
why that's
how?
being pumped to us
Yeah,
to think of all the, it's too many people that's thinking they could
agriculture.
be entertainers, right?
Yes,
And that's
yes,
pumped
yes,
for a reason, like to keep
yes.
us in that stagnant place where we dependent on other people, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because like that's the exact opposite of where we're supposed to be at right now. I did want to address this question on
Who was
brother or
that?
sister. I bet
Who was that, bro?
Pedro Honesty said he
Okay,
recently claimed nationality because of my work schedule. I'm limited
okay.
to any literature to help my growth. How can I
Good,
obtain some to help me? I'm gonna say for everybody listening,
good.
like if you want to know what literature to get, I'm gonna put a book list in
Yeah,
here real
I'm
quick.
listening.
All right, I'm a let me go ahead and type this out. But also you can email me on the site bay at mooresinamerica.com. Okay, but yeah, I always say this, but I suggest everybody get the Holy Quran for the Moorish Times Temple of
Oh man,
America.
I've had mine for 35 years, buddy.
Yes.
35 years. So yeah, quite some time.
Um
So
Holy Quran, a Quran questionnaire,
quite
get
some
the
time.
Divine
Yeah,
Constitution, and
yes.
also get Moorish literature. I mean, I suggest studying with the temple. I mean, we do Zoom classes every Friday and Sunday. You can study with us, but I suggest studying with a temple and then taking it further than that, actually building with real people where you live at.
See,
You get your three people. You've got your treasurer, your
yes. All right.
chairman, and your.
So you want to hear something? You want to hear something? Check this
Oh
out.
yeah, yeah. Go
So
ahead.
check this out, Shree. Check this out. So right now, in all actuality, I'm really beefing with some Jews, kinda, kinda.
Jewish, right?
Yeah. No, no, no. Not the ish.
Okay,
The-
so some
All right. So you got
Hebrews.
the ish, but then you got a real.
Okay, I'm familiar with the difference.
You familiar with the difference? All right, okay.
I
All
am. I
right,
am. I am.
all right, all right, all right, all right. So it's not really, it's not really beef. It's they're trying to make their point to me, and I don't see it. You know what I mean? I see it differently. You know, I just see it differently. It sits in my heart differently, and it is what it is, man. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. You know what I mean? That's all I can say. It fits better with me. You know what I mean? Especially when you're taking a spiritual journey, when you uh come up going through different phases of understanding of spirituality. There are different phases that you learn this, you learn that, then you learn more, and you keep learning, and then you learn, and you learn, and you learn, and you say, okay, so okay, what's more me? And it was more science for me.
I think that
It was more science for me. It set right in. So
I, I don't think
that's
that
all I can
there's
say.
necessarily an issue with the different ideologies existing within the same paradigm, as long as we
Hmm.
can all still move together, work together, and use group
You
economics
know
to
what?
affect
And that's
change.
what it is now. But in the Constitution, it's showing that we can move a certain type of way. So we have to move this way also. So when we move this way, then the paradigm changes.
Right.
Bing. So now there's a certain kind of way we got to move. Right. So when we move this way, then this is how we get things, mobilized. And this is one of the things that the prophet was trying to tell us. You know what I mean? So now we know. So now what are we going to do? This is the point now. So now what are we going to do? Are we going to get it done? Are we going to promote, uh try to come together, and promote and build, create schools for our children, create situations where people can really be parents. So what about that time when a parent can really be a parent? What about that?
Yeah, they're doing some crazy stuff now. I think
So
if a child's
so
13, they could
so
give a child in school
so
like
so
a shot without the parents' consent.
they're doing what?
There's something along the lines of they were pushing this through during the whole pandemic,
Yeah.
where some parents didn't want to get their kids shots, and I'm gonna be very selective with the verbiage here so that they don't start shadow banning this
Be
video.
selective,
Yeah,
bro. But listen. I'm in trouble right now on on one of my channels behind having a big mouth.
right,
So
right. So that's why I'm not gonna do that on somebody else's
yeah,
channel.
let's don't do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I'm having issues now with two different joints. So yeah,
I'm gonna
I
choose
heard
my
you though,
words.
brother. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna choose
yeah,
my words carefully here,
yeah. I
Sharif.
heard. Yeah.
So during everything that's been going on over these last 2 years, some of the policies that they were trying to push in some of these democratic cities were for parents who did not want to get their children shots because of all the hysteria. They were trying to make it where uh, children, if their parents are deemed irresponsible or some along those lines by not getting them certain
Man,
things, they can
no,
do it
man.
at age
See,
13 and up. They can do it
see,
without the parents' consent.
bro. They see they don't want somebody like me to come storming in the room when it's my child.
Yeah.
Right.
Please don't let it be me.
Yeah.
Do not let
Yeah.
it be me. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk about Tuskegee.
Uh-huh.
It's
Then
Yeah.
well, that's
it's
the first thing I'm gonna
undeniable.
go to. Once we shut down Tuskegee, then it's over with. I don't even want. Do we have to finish talk? Cause I got more. I got more. More. Go ahead, Sharif. Go ahead, Sharif.
Yeah, we have to look at that too. Like, you know, they get us to give away our own rights, to sign away our own rights. Like most of the verbiage, when you're looking at it, maybe dealing with the school system, it's gonna say parent/guardian. You know, if it even says parent at all. You know, and so just like, you know, if you're signing anything, you make sure you cross through that guardian. Right. I was trying to get a definition of guardian. A legal guardian is a person who has been appointed by a court or otherwise has the legal authority to care for the personal and property interests of another person, called a ward. Right. So your child is not a ward. They're not a ward of the state or anyone else. And you're not someone who's been appointed, right, to or legally responsible just to, you know, look after someone who's incapable of looking after themselves. Right. You're the parent. You're the mother, you're the father, right? So you have to establish that from the get-go. And then also you have to not be afraid to speak up for yourself. You know, if people are trying to infringe on your rights. And one thing that I think we need to do, like, you know, as a collective, you know, we have to have those communities for real, where you live with real people, where you're linked up, where you're looking out for each other, so it's known you're not just by yourself.
Yes.
Right, just out here, just vulnerable. Right, because everybody's not going to be a legal expert and able to go in and say what needs to be said. Right, you have to have this, right, and that you're standing on your rights. For the most part, though, you know, if you're standing on your religion, you know, people gonna leave you alone. Like, we already have that in there, you know, in the system and everywhere. Like, no vaccines for any of our children. Don't even talk to us about this. Like the school, trying to think, what did they call the nurse? She called me about something, just saying their records aren't up to date. And I'm like, okay, we don't do that. And she went and looked and saw, you know, we had the waiver, the paperwork, and all that stuff in there. Like, you got to leave us alone and don't even talk to us about it. You know, it's against our religion, and we're not going to go in depth in discussion about that. That's protected by the Constitution, and we all have these rights. And people, as the Judy said in the chat, we have to know our rights. You know, and if we don't, then people can do anything to you, and ignorance of it, not knowing about it, is not going to protect you. It's not going to keep you from suffering the consequences. Right? Being ignorant never saved anyone. It just makes it easier to get over on, to take advantage of.
You're making me think of a saying, and I can't remember it, but it's some along the lines of the only rights you have are the ones that you stand up for.
That's it. And that's how this whole system works. I mean, you know, the war that's going on, or whatever you want to call it, so-called war in Ukraine.
So what's going on with that? Okay. So what's going on with it?
I haven't done any research on it, so I can't like provide any insight. The only thing I can say is that basically they're able to do things that we don't agree with because we don't know our own rights. The person that's in office right now, whether people believe he stole the election or what, maybe I shouldn't even have said that. But you know, regardless of how we think, you know, he got into office, he's able to do what they're gonna do. They're gonna pull us into it. They're gonna start sending troops over there, whether the people agree with it or not. And they're not able to do any of this stuff. They're public servants, even the highest office, right? It doesn't matter whether you're talking about the governor, the city councilman, senators, or, you know, the federal government, the attorney generals, the president. All of these people are public servants. They're not able to do these things unless we co-sign on it. And so they put the distractions out there, like we were showing earlier. They put those things out there so that the masses of people aren't even paying attention to it. And then the few people, because it's always only a few people that actually follow up with them, because it's not just about voting. It's only a few people that follow up on them to make sure that they're doing what they were put in office to do. And so those people, you know, don't really have you don't really have a lot of people that are actually doing that anyway. So everybody
has their job, like who has their job to make sure they're doing right. Who has that
and
job?
You know, our community don't have that, because we don't have a community anymore. They broke that up with crack. That killed the community. There's no more community. And so we don't have our own watchdogs to be on anyone. So like that's really what it's about, like with having our nation, right? The Prophet Noble Drew Ali actually declared our independence in 1929. Right? He declared our independence. It's already been done. We just have to come together within that fold and move as a unit with the structure that we already have. We don't have to reinvent anything. Right? And with that, just say we did this with this small community, whether it's millions or hundreds of thousands or whatever. It's just a lot of us. And we move as a unit. We have our own watchdogs. So we put in people in office to serve our needs. And then we following up on them to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to. We looking out for us because we can't save everybody.
And that's the job that I would love. I would love to follow up on these degenerates and make sure they're doing what we want them to be doing.
You got somebody whose job is to do the research, to follow what they're doing, to make sure that they're looking out for us, doing what they're supposed to do in order for our support to get them in this position, because they have a job to do. This is what your job is. And so you got somebody whose job is just to do that research, to stay on top of those people, right? And they're going to be able to do it because we had the finances, to pay for this, to keep these things going, to looking out for our interests. Like people think about like where I'm in Ohio, we have Amish people out here. They're in Ohio and Pennsylvania, there's a bunch of them. And you might think that they just living on their farms and living like they're in the 1800s. But in reality, they do have lobbyists and people like this to do things for their community, to make it where they don't have to participate in the things that they don't want to participate in and that they can't be infringed on. And it's not like this is what's going on right now. It's kind of reckless.
Will they let us do that? Will they let us? Well,
they can't stop us from doing
it's not about letting.
It's a lot of us. They can't stop me. Even if it was just 400,000. 400,000 is a flood of people. You can't stop that many people, and you definitely can't stop millions. Okay, and so it's kind of it's disorganized. So we got Moors is telling everybody, you need to be the watchdogs, you need to be the legal master, you need to be all of this. That ain't realistic. Like your grandma. What if somebody who, because there's people all ages that I meet who are coming into this, like even just within our temples, people of all ages. So you telling this lady who's like 70 years old, who's like, got some other thing that she's good at. Is she supposed to learn all this? No. Right? So if we have a real community, you got people who's doing that. Right? And we kick in a little bread. Some of that goes to our local, some of that goes to our national agendas. And we getting stuff done just like everybody else. It ain't really that complicated. It's just that like we don't know this. We've been degenerated to the point where we don't even know how to run our own society. And so like, part of what the temple is supposed to be doing, we're supposed to be teaching how to do this at the level. And then we're supposed to actually be moving, physically doing it. And, that's where we at. And so like, since it's the internet and everything's out there all over the place, it's scattered, and it's disjointed. But at the same time, on the positive, there's something in us, in our genetics, in our DNA, that's making us.
We know that. That's the easy part. Yeah, we know that. So it's
going to come together one way or another. And like, and just because they ain't talking about it on Dateline in 2020 don't mean it's not happening. They're not going to cover it. They're going to cover it up for as long as they can. The only time they're going to talk about it is when they can try to make us look stupid, try to show us looking incompetent, try to show us doing things that's going to make other people say, nah, I ain't messing with them Moors. They crazy, right?
Okay, well.
But it's happening,
I ain't trying, no. Where I'm coming from is strictly from where the Prophet coming from, period.
Islam. Yeah.
I'm not trying to get in no foolishness.
Yeah, because the Prophet set us up just the seed, man. He didn't make it where like you got to be out here, risking your freedom, doing stuff that's not even going to like produce any results. Like it's all about business, and it's about cleaning ourselves up so that if we have these vestiges, this left over from all the stuff we've been through, like to clean it up, Start putting some clothes on. You don't have to do this, right? You don't have to get implants. You don't have to do that. You beautiful like this. You don't have to do all that. And then it's like, since when do women have to really like go all out, to garner attention, to get favor from men? They don't have to do all that. You don't have to be naked. You can have clothes on. Men still gonna be attracted. Like,
go somewhere,
going crazy.
go somewhere and buy about 50,000 acres, and it's just our area. Period.
And everybody gonna want to be there,
And
just
like
back then,
like just
when we had our
you know what I mean?
areas.
And it's just our area, and it's just we got schooling. We keeping it clean. We building. You know, we keeping the Quran close by. Also, you might want to throw every once in a while. You want to throw the Old Testament in there every once in a while. And really into all of the religion thing, but what it does is it keeps people in order. We need these things to stay in order.
Need that, yes.
It's not really a religion thing, but you need order. So, and if you don't have order, then everybody's going to run amok. So you
That's
have
right.
to have some kind of system. It doesn't have to be real heavy like somebody like Hammurabi.
Yeah.
He had 262.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
he had a
Yeah.
whole bunch of them. Yeah, over 300 of them. Like, man, look, you guys got to stay in order. So all I'm
Yeah.
saying is some type of order with about 50,000 acres belong to us, all taught by us, all built by us, all us. Moors, period. And that's just how I feel right now, bro. I feel like this is the time. Right now, this is
Yeah.
the time.
Man,
This is the
I'm
time
with
right
you
now.
on
Right
that.
now, this
And
is the time.
yeah,
Yep,
like, I'm
this is
with
the
you on
time
that
right now.
for real. Cause like, I mean,
So
if you
we
look
gotta
at to
try it.
what if you look into what the prophet set up for us, it's
Yeah,
Americanized. It's not that harsh. It's not that
right.
hard to
It's
follow these
not.
steps to pick
It's not.
ourselves up. And like you
It
were
is right.
saying, we need that structure. It's
We
not
need
I
it.
need the structure or you need the structure. Like, as a collective, we need it. Because it's like,
Yeah.
you can't just go from 0 to 100 overnight.
Mhm.
Just like that. We gotta build ourselves up and be able to sustain it. Right.
Right.
Once we got the
Right.
foundation, then if others try to attack, it ain't gonna work. If you
Mhm.
And I'm not trying to focus on the past, but if we looking at this older picture,
Yeah.
this is during Jim Crow segregation. So all of this stuff you seeing, this is all Asiatic on, or at least most of it
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
right?
All
So
that.
you got
We
the
already
dudes
know.
selling
Yeah.
cigars, and
That's
you
the
got
easy
Patsy
part. That's the
seafood
easy
and
part.
lunch, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's all
Mhm.
us, and then like we all respectable, and that's what we
Yep.
need. Like, it's not gonna work
Yeah.
if we don't do it.
If we
And it's
don't
gotta
do
be
it,
sustained.
it's gonna get out of hand, man. We don't want it to get out of hand. Want
That's
everything to
right. It's
stay.
Man,
Yes.
yeah. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's it's out of hand enough. We don't
Yeah.
need to go any lower. This is the
Yeah.
lowest. This is low enough, man. It's like, come
Yeah.
on. So, if people don't see that at this point in time, there's nothing you could do to show them. People have to have the light in them. They have to have it to receive it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we don't have to worry about that. I was bringing this stuff up just to make a point. We can't save everybody. We just have to save
We
ourselves.
can't.
And by
But
doing it,
yes.
then
Yes.
others gonna get
Yes.
on the fold. Some
Yes.
people,
Yes.
they gonna
Yes.
have to
Yes.
see it working before they come on
Yes.
board. They
Yes.
want it,
Yes.
but they
Yes.
caught up, and this will give them the
I
motivation
agree.
to come on up out of there.
I
And so,
agree, bro.
that's
I
all we
agree.
have to do.
I
We
agree.
just have to move
Yeah.
as a, and I
Yeah.
like that you said, you stick
Couple
with
of
the
us.
prophet, because that's what's
Yeah.
gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah.
He already
Yeah. Because
showed
he
that
gave
it
us.
works.
Yeah. He gave us the blueprint. Now we
And
also
other
know
people
that.
coming over doing it too.
Yeah.
People from other
Yeah.
countries coming and doing the
Yeah.
same thing, even in modern times, right?
Yeah.
So it's not
Just
rocket science.
what I'm gonna say is this, bro. Just be smart, man. Be wise. You know, keep your head on a swivel. Always keep your head on a swivel. Always keep your head on a swivel. All right, because we know that there are people people are watching us. So that's all I'm saying. And just move right. And as long as you do that, everything will be fine. And that's it, bro. Right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's right, man.
All right. That's it. That's
I
it. That's
agree
it.
totally.
Everything
You
will be
know,
fine, man. You know what I'm saying? Move right. Move right. You move right. You know, just keep your head on the swivel. Always keep your head on the swivel. Always. You know, people can talk about my ebonics all they want. It's just, this is where I come. This is where I come from. But um, at least I was reared the halfway decent way by my dad to introduce certain things to me as a youngin. As a youngin, I was introduced to the nation before I was 7. Then he introduced more science to me. So I'm learning more science. I'm learning the nation. Then after that, we took a Sunni visit. After I took the Sunni visit, then I started just like reading the Old Testament real heavy, and just getting more knowledge and understanding. Just just trying to get closer to what the truth is. I don't want to be all religious and all that. All I'm saying is there are a code of laws, a certain way we are supposed to live, and it was sketched out for us, and all we gotta do is do it. Period. That's just how I
man, that's
feel.
powerful, bro. And honest to your father, honest to your father.
Yeah,
And there's look, there's nothing
you
wrong with
know,
what you said, man. You know what
you
religion
know,
means, right? That means to bind
yeah,
back, you know,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
we binding
exactly.
ourselves back to the ways of our
Yeah,
ancestors because that's how we come into our divine covenant, right? What the
right,
prophet say? He said
right.
same thing that's in the Bible. Honor our forefathers and foremothers.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
That
it.
simple. So the religion for
That's it.
us is that
Don't be
simple.
out,
It's binding
don't be out
ourselves
there
back.
stealing. Look, don't be out there trying to kill nobody. You
Yep.
know, don't be trying to sleep with somebody's wife, and all the foolishness,
All the
all the
foolish, yeah,
crazy,
all the
yeah,
new
all the
stuff.
crazy, yeah, yeah.
Stay away from
Don't
all
get
that
in.
new mess.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah, all that.
real
So
serious.
right. So we know right from wrong, man. And just move accordingly and grow. Shit. At this point, it's about grow. Everybody knows the strong people, the light people. At this point in time, we know this is move time. Everybody knows this is move time. So you know what I'm saying? We need to uh create some type of establishment where we make sure everything is legally binded. You know, everybody bring to the table what they can bring to the table, and we move accordingly. Period. You know what I mean? We tribe up really and move accordingly. That's it. I mean, that's where we at right
Yeah,
now.
it's that
Yeah.
simple.
And
It's
we
that
got and we
simple.
got and we also got and we got to be in mind that they got this little war going on too. So we gotta make sure we are protected also.
Yep.
You know, read between
Yeah.
the lines. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you read between the lines. So make sure you are protected, right? So that's it, man. That's it,
Yep.
bro. I don't want to really get too. I don't want my mouth can get too big sometimes. That's why I'm shut down right now. That's why I'm glad you
Yeah.
came on.
Man, I hear you. Yeah,
Oh
that's
man.
all, that's why we have to have our own agenda, making sure we looking
Mhm.
out for ourselves, regardless of what's going on. We can't keep
Yeah,
complaining
yeah.
about the
Mhm.
stuff they putting in the food and the water. We gotta get our own land. We gotta do it because nobody else is gonna
Well,
do
I
it.
tell you one
And
thing. Look, all we gotta do is start grow. Yeah, we gotta grow it. Then Okay, agriculture. Okay, cool. All right, so we go ahead and start. Everything that we eat, we grow.
Yes.
Everything. Everything that we
Yeah.
eat, we grow. Everything that
Yeah.
we eat, we grow. We pump, we get a water well. And all the water that we drink, I got a video right now on YouTube where my sister-in-law is testing the tap water near her job
Uh-huh.
in Baltimore. She tests the tap water, and the tap water tested positive for COVID-19.
Wow.
The
Man, that's
tap
wild.
water.
Yeah.
Now, they have these, maybe my mouth is a little too big, but they have these rapid tests that, that this is the kind of work they do, right? It's called a rapid test, right? You get it back in 12 to 15 minutes, right? It tested positive for COVID-19. There's a video so much you probably go look at it now. As soon as we get off here, go look at it, go check it out. Yeah.
That's
It's
wild,
great,
man.
man. Yeah. So I'm just saying, this is
Oh
what
yeah,
we're
yeah,
dealing.
you gotta be
This is what
careful
we're
about
dealing
that
with.
word.
So this
They,
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that word. Yeah, I'm
they,
sorry.
they gonna
Yeah,
put up
that
a little one
yeah,
of them little
yeah.
information boxes on.
Yeah, my fault. I'm sorry. My bad. It won't be said no more. All right. So listen. So yeah. So yeah, bro. Yeah, man. So we dig a water well, and then then you can drink the water that you need to drink.
Yeah, and that's
You
it, man. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's where we need to be moving at for everybody that's
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah.
And coming at
Everybody's
it with
listening.
real, like, pure
Yeah.
intentions. That's why we have to clean
Everybody.
ourselves up, because
Yeah.
if we're moving on this,
Yeah.
eventually the whole world will. Because, and like we
Hmm.
said earlier, nobody else is going to do it. I know that too from living overseas. Man, they were having the genetically modified food, and it was creeping into the supermarkets there too. And so it's
Yeah.
starting to happen all over the world, even in places that try to hold out, that wasn't trying to do that to their
Yeah.
people. So nobody's going to come and save us. We have to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And if we doing this
Yeah.
for real, we Moorish American Muslims, and we moving with the pure intent, we follow the prophet, we about cleaning ourselves up and doing what's right, and we doing that in our communities, people gonna follow, because the keys to civilization was and is
That's
in the
right.
hands of the
That's
Asiatics of
right.
North America. Over here in North America,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was in the
And
Eastern Army.
everybody knows it. I mean, everybody knows it. It's not. It's not an argument. Like everybody knows it. Everybody knows. Everybody knows, except for us. Except for the ones
Yeah.
that should know. Except for the ones that should know. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, I mean, who
And,
everybody wants to be us.
yeah.
Everybody wants to be these so-called Negroes
Yeah.
in the United States,
Yep.
especially North America, especially North America. Yeah. So, all the way down to the music. uh,
Yep.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
Africa, they
Even
dress in Africa. They dress. It's slick to dress homeboys. Yes, I'm
yeah.
homeboy. I'm homeboy like you, homeboy.
Yeah.
Shatta. I'm shatta like you, homeboy. Huh?
Yeah, they
Nah,
making
man.
drill rap in
Nah, nah, nah. Yeah,
Nigeria, in
yeah.
Ghana. Drill rappers in Ghana.
See,
Like, what
see.
the yeah,
Ghana.
what is that about?
Look,
Right?
man.
So yeah, they gonna copy us.
More genocide, more genocide,
Yep.
more
Degenerate.
genocide, more genocide, more
They
genocide.
copying our
Yes,
degenerate behavior. Right. So when we
yes,
cleaning
right,
up and
right.
we building eco villages and doing what we supposed to do, that's gonna spread too. You know?
Right.
That's
And we
true.
don't
That's
have to like
true. You
promote
got
it.
a
And
point.
we just have to do it. And it's gonna get out. Right? So just like all this mess is spreading, when we living on love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, that's gonna spread too. It already is, because, like, I mean, we talk to people international, right? It's Moors Moorish Americans or Moorish Trinidadians, whatever you would call that, in Trinidad, right? They in the islands in the Caribbean, they're in Haiti. So it's spreading. So all we have to do is just be excellent, right? Be excellent, and people all over the world gonna want to be excellent. They're gonna follow suit, and we gonna have allies. Whereas before, got people that's looking down on us. They might want to copy, but they don't. They not really trying to be down. They just want to copy. But we'll have allies when they see us standing and being excellent, and that's what we have to do. We got to pick up the pace and do it for real, right? And as the sister said, yeah, we have to make sure our house is in order first. That might be my cue to get up off of here. That's the Moabites. But we have to make sure the house is in order, before we could, do anything on a grand scale, because that's where the nation starts, at the home.
I, I appreciate the bill with you brothers. I just wanted to let that be known. I do gotta get ready and get up out of here as well. I appreciate the build. I did want to let y'all know that.
Man, appreciate y'all Moors too. And for everybody here, appreciate you all. Make sure y'all, everybody that's watching, there's a lot of people watching. Make sure you hit like and share this, because this is the type of dialogue that a lot of people need to hear. For some of us, we not trying to preach to each other, right? Trying to help to enlighten and raise the level, of consciousness. And this is how it's done.
Sharif, I did just want to say for everybody listening, hit the turn on notifications button, because I didn't even get a notification that you was going live. I happened to be scrolling, so I wasn't planning on this build or anything like that. So for your subscribers, make sure to turn on those notifications.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you for saying that. Yeah, I don't know if YouTube did that for everybody, for everyone's channels or what, but a lot of people aren't getting a notification. So you have to click I think it looks like a little bell. You have to click that bell to turn on the notification, so you see when the videos are up. All right, and appreciate everybody. Make sure you click that to turn on the notifications, and make sure you share this a couple times. And I appreciate you all for coming on here. On that note, though, let's go ahead and close out. Peace and love. You two more, though, stick around for a second, just 1 second. All right, and on that note, we're gonna go ahead and close out. Peace to everybody.
I know you got my hubby.